There are billions of humans on planet Earth, and no two are exactly the same, which is incredible, miraculous even. That being said, there are certain physical constants. 10 fingers, 2 eyes, 1 nose, etc. But there are also people in this world whose bodies do not correspond to regular human anatomy, be it through birth defect or surgical modification. In this video, we want to introduce you to some pretty remarkable people, and we're going to show you what makes them so unique. From large limbs to new body parts and extraordinary genetic mutations. This should be a good one. So for all this and more, stay tuned right here at Wonderlane. Let's start with a man who has an unusual ability, Gary Stretch. As the name suggests, the Brit can stretch exceptionally well. Not like you stretch before a workout. He's literally stretchy. Gary Turner has stretchy skin. He's been awarded a Guinness World Record for having elastic skin. As the 49-year-old explained, he noticed as a child that he could pull his skin out further than most people. Later, he began to utilize this unusual talent in films and even in the circus. Gary Stretch once presented how stretchable his skin really is on a British children's TV show, as he stretched his skin over his own mouth to form a sort of fleshy respirator mask. On his forehead, his skin is so elastic that Gary can completely cover his eyes with it. The reason Gary has such stretchy skin is due to a chronic collagen deficiency. Collagen is a protein that is needed to keep the skin firm and to prevent wrinkles. This is probably a pretty killer party trick though. Next, let's move on to Justin Jedlica and Pixie Fox, who did not get their looks through natural circumstance, but through tons of plastic surgery. In fact, some time ago, the couple achieved their unusual dream of transforming themselves into a real-life version of Barbie and Ken. Both Jedlica and Fox have since made a full-time gig out of appearing in public as a human doll couple. Together, they underwent over 400 medical procedures, which is almost a world record. Ken lookalike Justin Jedlica had his nose fixed 5 times and received bicep, back, cheek, and calf implants. Pixie Fox had dozens of breast augmentation surgeries, as well as liposuction, and she even had 6 ribs completely removed. The couple's goal was not only to look like Ken and Barbie, they also wanted to be, quote, 100% plastic. As previously mentioned, the couple earns decent money just from their unusual looks. They are also regular ambassadors at plastic surgery events, and they also rake in modeling jobs. However, strictly speaking, the two are not actually together, since Jedlica is married to a man and Fox is single, so their love is also just plastic. Next, let's meet the Hanson Twins. Abby and Brittany Hensel are conjoined twins. While they each have their own head, brain, and personality, they share one body. Conjoined twins can often be separated after birth, but this procedure wasn't possible in the case of Abby and Brittany. This is due to the fact that they share too many important organs such as lungs, intestines, and their bladders. Dicephaly, or two-headedness, is extremely rare and obviously not ideal, but the twins love each other very much and they lead a fairly uninhibited and well-balanced life. They have driver's licenses, they graduated from college, they play sports, and they can do all the things that they want to do in spite of their incredibly unusual circumstance. The twins are employed as math teachers at an elementary school, and the United States government views them as 2 separate people. Now let's move on to a very tall young lady named Macie Curran. The 17-year-old Texan stands at an astonishing 6 foot 10 inches. Her upper body is proportioned pretty normally, but her legs are really long. In fact, she holds the Guinness World Record for the world's longest legs. Even as a small child, she towered over her peers, and now in her adolescence, she continues to grow. Her size has some advantages, as she says, for example, she can always find her friends in a crowd, but it's definitely hard for her. Clothes shopping is difficult as she can find plenty of tops, but never matching pants that fit. Consistent stares from strangers in public take a toll as well. After all, she's only 17. Her mother, who was always fishing for publicity, organizes television reports and official record measurements for her daughter, and this has caused some resentment. Macie is pretty reserved, and this attention is definitely unwanted. Let's continue with 27-year-old Jasmine Trideville. Now, I'm just going to cut to the chase on this one. This chick has 3 boobs. When she shared photos of the triplets on Facebook in 2014, the internet freaked out. At first, many believed that the pictures had been edited and that the third breast was fake. But Trideville went on to appear on TV, and this report made it clear that she was the real deal. The third boob did not occur naturally though. This woman actually had a third tit surgically added to her chest. She had to consult over 50 plastic surgeons before finally finding someone with a medical degree crazy enough to fulfill her request. When asked why she wanted this, Trideville explained that she had bad experiences with men in the past and she hoped that the surgery would make her less attractive to the opposite sex. Currently, however, she uses her one-of-a-kind rack to draw attention to a donation page on her social media profiles. Let's move on to a man commonly known as the real-life Popeye, as Jeff Dabe has cartoonishly large forearms. His hands are also massive, and he actually has the largest hands in the world. The 52-year-old knows how to put this record to good use. He regularly competes in arm wrestling competitions and has won numerous trophies in his home state of Minnesota. Interestingly enough, Dabe didn't even have to work out to achieve these results. His body is just shaped like that. In other words, he's literally built different. As a child, many suspected that he was suffering from a rare disorder, as his hands simply would not stop growing. In his day-to-day, his large hands have caused some disadvantages. For example, the American cannot use a smartphone, as the touchscreens of modern cell phones just don't work with his massive glove-like hands. Interestingly, he uses a flip phone instead, which has ordinary buttons. Let's finish up with Adrienne Lewis. At first glance, the 23-year-old seems like an ordinary young woman, but her snake-like tongue is long enough to boast a world record. If she sticks it out all the way, she can easily reach the tip of her nose. With a little help, she can even reach her eye. Adrienne owes this to her genetics, as her parents and her grandfather have extraordinarily long tongues as well. However, at 10.2 centimeters, she has the longest tongue in her family, as well as in the entire world. And that's gonna do it for our video on some of the craziest physical abnormalities in the world. Which one of these did you find the most interesting? Chick with 3 boobs, right? Look, you can lie to me all you want, but don't lie to yourself. Behold the holy trifectit, the holy trinitit. I'm sorry. Just subscribe, please.